Hello, everybody. Welcome to Between Sundays, your new favorite Christian podcast slash live stream slash show slash I don't know. We'll see what this turns into, John. God's moving powerfully on our sets. We felt the anointing.
Non-nationalist, non-deconstructing Christian media. I don't think that exists. So we're a new genre.
Kind of a new genre. You know, we're excited to be here. If you're here and you're from our social media, you guys know we've kind of been in the faith space for a while now. I've been doing comedy skits, talking about megachurch, talking about homeschool life, talking about just my upbringing, just things I see happening in the world. Brother John Rush has been an incredible youth pastor. He's done a lot of things. I'll let him talk for himself. He probably wants to make an intro. John, you should do an intro right now.
Okay, I think this is an interesting place to start for this conversation around Christian content, lay of the land. A lot of your content, well, all of your content right now is skits, it's jokes made at the expense, if you will, of evangelical, seeker-sensitive kind of mega church structure, some Pentecostal televangelists in there. And
get everything in there.
Some looking at it would conclude that means because you're making jokes, you hate it. Talk about that. People think, oh, you make a joke about it, you hate it. What's your take?
No, that is kind of funny because my audience is very different depending on like what comment section you go into. But like it's predominantly church people that, understand the bit, that get the joke. But there is a portion of them that are people that think, oh, this guy must hate the church. And it's like, what are you talking about? I'm a PK that worked in church. I've never had like a real job. Okay. I've worked church jobs, which are actually harder. and then I started making content, social media content based on my experiences and things like that. And it's
your full-time job now. Both of our full-time job. Yesterday, two kids at the pool were like, what do you do? I got to say content creator. It's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. If you tell a little kid that, they're usually like, oh, do you work with Mr. Beast? That's their first thing. And it's like, yeah, I work with Mr. Beast.
I say, no, we're his competitor. Coming for you, Jimmy.
My faith.
Coming for you, Jimmy.
Bro, speaking my faith.
Yeah. So we'll float back in and out of our story. Let's just, we wanted to do this first conversation. Just giving a lay of the land. Christian media, Christian content.
Yeah.
Raw thoughts, controversial thoughts, potentially. I think here's what I think. I think it's a lot the same of when you and I are growing up, which there's not a lot of, it's still just not a lot of good content. Like, it's funny. It's like, we think, we got conferences now with, Passion and Forward and we're on YouTube. And I'm like, but the majority of like Christian content that's like big and doing well is just preaching and worship. There's not like a lot of great movies, great art, great, like Disney's still Disney, and so I think it feels a lot like, man, we haven't come that far from Gospel Bill,
Hey, no hate to Gospel Bill. If I see anybody in this comment section talking smack about Gospel Bill, I'm hitting you with the ban button. Yeah. First off, okay? Matter of fact, if you haven't seen Gospel Bill or you haven't seen the Cimarron Trail, you're banned. You're banned also, if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Wait, what was the second one you said?
Cimarron Trail?
Yeah, I don't know that one. What's that one? Cimarron Trail?
I got up to leave and then the conviction of God hit me. So I'm back.
How do you spell Cimarron?
Cimarron Trail. Okay, so we're on a rabbit trail now. But Gospel Bill, which was it was made for like TBN Kids. It was like a daytime show with Gospel Bill. The preceding thing to that was the Cimarron Trail, which were movies that were made at a church called Church on the Move. And it had a lot of the same actors, some of the same.
Dude, look at this guy. Look at this legend right here, dude. Gospel Bill, dude.
We love him. We love that guy. That's Pastor Willie George.
Wait. No. Hold up.
What?
I didn't know that was Willie George.
That's Willie George.
There's no way.
That guy deserves the title of senior global pastor. 100%.
Wait, dude, I totally got like, I did not know. I did not connect. This is my childhood and our now adult life. I had no idea that's Willie George.
Dude, that's Willie George. Willie George. I don't want to get his story wrong, but he used to do a lot of like children's ministry stuff. They made movies for their church, which were Cimarron Trail, which was like a more mature version of Gospel Bill. And then they did Gospel Bill, which was for kids. And he started Church on the Move out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a hero of mine. Bro. Because he was like making his own movies. He was like self-funding. Self-funding in the sense that, he had a ministry, but, they weren't.
How do you spell
Hollywood
Cimarron?
money.
I can't find it.
Cimarron Trail?
Yeah.
I think it's Cimmarron. I could be wrong. I could be totally jacking that up. There may not be much on the internet about it.
Yeah, there's not a lot on the internet. There's this.
It's probably not that much. Yeah, but he was making it, dude. This is like stuff if you're going to talk about Christian media, this is another thing I will say. People want to talk to me about Christian media, but if I bring up like Cimarron Trail, they don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, you don't know the history. You got to know the history if you're going to be in Christian media. You got to know it. That's Elmer. How are you going to not know who Elmer is?
The funny thing is,
I know, talk to me about Christian media.
I know that was Elmer.
I know you do. I'm talking to the audience. Yeah, no, you're good. You know Elmer. I would have snuffed that out if you didn't know Elmer by now. We would have done a binge watch.
Okay, but watch this.
What are you typing in? Satan bites the dust.
Now this is.
Ooh, that's beautiful right there.
We just got to get a little bit. Well, how long until we copyright or we can't?
Cimarron Trail. I can't really hear you, John, to be honest. Your voice is kind of out for some reason with the audio.
My voice right now?
Now I can hear it. Yeah, now I can hear it. For some reason when you're doing both, it's getting...
Is it hard to hear?
Yeah. Well, this is Carmen, another legend, another old school guy. He was doing music and he did he did some film stuff as well, from what I understand. But yeah, so Wild West, there was a time period where Wild West stuff was big. That was like
shooting a demon.
Yeah.
Like that's fire, bro. That is fire.
That's better than any, honestly, pull up old Cimarron Trail, pull up Carmen. I have yet to see any Christian media people top the cheesy stuff from the 80s. I have yet to see it.
And this is what we got now.
What do we got now?
We got the.
Oh yeah. Yep. You get it. Thanks, Dante. Appreciate the teeth shot. Appreciate that. So I mean, I think Christian media. I don't want to just dunk on all of Christian media because there are some people doing some exciting stuff. I love House of David. The Chosen's making a lot of moves. Obviously there's great talent in the music industry if we go through music. But I think specifically when you look at like Christian shows in the context of like YouTube, in the context of like podcasts, there's a lot of really serious conversations. It seems like everybody wants to have serious conversations. Okay. And notice how that's what they say too. They'll say that all the time. Well, we need to have a conversation about this. We need to have a conversation about that. And my whole thing is like, what if there was a space or a show where we kind of just drop all the stuff, okay? And we have a good time, okay? We have a good time and we have fun. And, we do talk about things that are going on. We talk about things that are important, but not every episode is my attempt to make you think I'm more spiritual than I am.
Yeah. Or like heresy hunting, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not interested in any of that. I'm not interested in on us getting on here and being like, hey, did you see what this pastor did this last week? Guys, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Like,
it's really, it even biblically, it's hard to imagine a case that justifies heresy hunting someone you've never met in person that lives in a different place. Like, bro, like what the biblical confrontation we're seeing. Again, I'm not saying that social media should never be used that way. We're
We're not saying that. We're just saying we're talking about what our space is.
Yeah, and it's kind of boring, and I think it's also worth questioning. I think also
it is. Yeah.
I think also what we want to do with this show is, what's the quote from church that we heard today?
Oh, Churchill.
Yeah, which one do you want to use? Which version? Do you want to use the
sanitized version?
Yeah, do the real one. This is
I'll
between
do the real
Sundays.
One. No, this is the quote. He said, "Tact is the ability to tell someone to go to HE double hockey sticks in such a way that they look forward to the trip." That's what Winston Churchill said. And, I think that when we address things that are, something we kind of have to bring the hammer down, okay, so to say. The whole point of this is we're having fun. We're not here to get anybody. We're not looking for excuses to put some pastor's name in the title. And at the end of the day, I just don't think there's that many people that really want that.
Well, no.
I think there's a specific audience for that, but I don't think that that's the mainstream, heartland audience.
Well, and the version of the quote that we heard at church today was, frick, I took notes. Oh, my old iPad isn't connected to it. To the internet. It's not uploaded. My wife was there. I took notes. I promise. Oh, here it is. It's on my ChatGPT. Howard W. Newton, which I guess he was this marketing guy from the 1946. He said a version of this quote. He said, "Tact is the art of making a point without making an enemy." And I think in general,
right,
on this show, instead of talking about people, we want to talk with them. So people got a lot of things to say about Mike Todd. Come on the show and you talk. I think it's this kind of going thumbnail for thumbnail kind of space. It's so boring. It's it's like, hey, let's find some way. There's 30 different YouTube channels coming up with a way to react to this week's illustrated sermon clip that went viral. Yeah. Because it's there's a way to interpret it that's heretical. And it's just I just don't know how much of that's really helping anybody. Well, and also if something's heretical, what's more helpful and more interesting? Get on live with this person and ask them. That's true. That is actually that's very funny to me. Yeah, because this is the state of Christian media to me. In 2025, gone are the shooting. We don't have anyone shooting demons right now. Okay, we have Dante.
I wish we had people shooting demons.
We have Dante dancing. And then we have Christian YouTuber is this person is the worst. And then we have right. and commenting on some person they've never known and all this stuff. And then we have the pastor they're talking about on Sunday making some sideways sermon point about them. And I just want some of y'all to know there's haters out there, but they're making you more holy. And I know people talk about me on the internet, but I don't look. How do you know they're talking about you if you don't look?
I know.
And I'm it's just this weird, y'all should just fight, okay? Or be friends. And this is a show where, man, it's not we're going to have debates all the time, but
yeah,
we want if we're going to talk about something serious, let's do it for real. You know what's funny is this is going to be a funny show, and we're going to end up doing more serious business than a lot of these serious YouTube accounts that are just talking about people from a distance. We're going to bring them on the show. We're just bring them on.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing. And if people come on the show and they want to have a conversation, it's cool, because maybe I'll learn, maybe they'll learn, maybe the audience will learn. Everybody learns, everybody wins. It's the point isn't we're not out here with pitchforks, looking to hey, how can we take a lick out of somebody?
Absolutely.
So I think that's just our thing. And at the end of the day, for me too, is I think we should just have a good time. I think we should have joy, as the preachers used to say. We need to have joy in our lives.
Yeah. I was recently at the K-Love Awards.
Ooh.
You did not come with me. I
did not.
You were in Greece. No. Were you? Because the house
I don't think I was in Greece for that.
Where were you? Why weren't you with me?
What I was doing? I think I had to. I don't know. Maybe I had to drive and see family. I had something come up where I was man,
you have to do that a lot. Explain to people why you have to do that a lot. While I pull up this picture,
I have to travel a little bit. I'm senior global pastor. Okay?
No, I mean see family.
Got to go around.
You don't dox yourself, but
Oh yeah. Well, I've got family. They're family pastors up in Kentucky. I've got 8 younger siblings.
Yeah, 8. You got a big family. That's why you got to go all the time.
Yeah, and so I go up. I like to see him. I like to spend time on it with him. And so I go out of town like, I don't know, probably once every like 5 weeks or something, loosely, depending on what I'm doing. So yeah, sometimes I'm out of town. My friends get upset about it. They're like, "Why is Wood Taylor's never here?"
No, I'm never here. That's why we're good friends. We're never here. You know what's
That's
so
why
funny?
we're doing the call with the face cams.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny, dude? You know what I realized is last week when we traveled for the youth group, YG Chronicles, we filmed like 5 episodes
YG
with
Chronicles.
them. Stay
Love
tuned.
those guys.
Like, comment, subscribe on YG Chronicles. We're there. Bro, is what I realized is us traveling was the most time we've hung out since I moved to Tennessee.
That's
in the same
probably
room.
true.
I mean, granted, maybe that's a cheat code because, obviously we were in the same,
It's kind of
house.
a cheat code. Yeah, well,
But it
it's
was
like
funny.
we're both busy, so it's like there's not a ton of time for people just to like just hang out in person. Although we talk, on the phone and online all the time.
I'm trying to pull up this freaking photo. Okay, yeah. So I was at K-Love Awards in 2025, and Brandon Lake was there. Jelly Roll was kind of there.
Ooh, Jelly Roll, our favorite CCM artist.
Forrest Frank was kind of there. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the star of the show was Stephen Curtis Chapman. Like the guy, the main thing was still Stephen Curtis Chapman, dude. I was like, "There's no way, dude."
You know what's funny is I remember he came to a church in Kentucky once. And I worked there at the time, and that he came there and he packed the place out. There were thousands there. I mean, he packed it out, and I was like, "Snap! Stephen Curtis Chapman's got aura." Okay. He does. There's no I'll be honest, it's kind of a little bit before my time, so I haven't listened to a ton of Stephen Curtis Chapman songs. But I've definitely heard a few.
In this world, looking for a reason. Okay, but to be fair, Marvel brought back Robert Downey Jr. So
True.
Some of these things are not isolated to our niche, Sometimes the goats are just goats.
Sure.
The goats do goat things. Do you know?
They do. And so Stephen Curtis Chapman, we need to have him on the show.
We will have it. We'll have on the show. Okay, this is what I saw at
Wow.
Yeah, you can't really see what's going on here. I'm gonna show you. This is what was going on.
Whoa.
The only
sitting down.
No, look. Oh wait, you can't. Look right here.
What is that? I can't even see it.
It's a child sleeping. He was the only child. He was the only Gen Alpha thing in there.
No. If I'm ever doing a show and Gen Alpha is in the crowd, like sleeping, oh man.
And hey, we listen, we love Caleb. We love Caleb.
It's an award show. It's a K-Love award show.
It's it's not
really like
but a little bit
Gen Alpha's gonna care.
But a little bit why we're out in this space. We're just kind of like, this is why we're doing this. Like, I still feel like it's kind of sleepy, the whole scene. What do you think?
It's a little sleepy. I don't want to act like, oh my goodness, we can just fix everything. But I think that there's a lot of people that want, the type of content that we make in a show like this, where it's like, we're like, hey, we want to be entertaining. We want to be outside of the box. We don't want to be just another podcast that sits and talks about, what we studied in our Bibles in the coffee shop this week. And I think that, we probably will have a lot of Gen Alpha in here. We're going to have to learn new slang to keep up with them. We're going to have to learn all that.
Yeah. And in general, and it's like, we want to be a part. I think ultimately our lay of the land of Christian media is we love it. At the end of the day, we love it. We love the people. Yeah. We want to be a part of it. We got to laugh at it. I think that content is such a great way for us to like get ahead in the entertainment game. I mean, Taylor and I are going to be starting a church in Grand Theft Auto. We're helping raise money and fund projects for Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite and not just for us, but other creators. And we want to have fun. And
we want to have fun. And I think it's important too, for church people, and church people are getting so good at this. Like, look at the people who follow me, for example, they get it. Like, it's important that we don't take ourselves too seriously. If we take ourselves too seriously, nobody's going to have a good time. And on top of that, I think we all probably have something we deserve to be made fun of for. Okay. There's a whole list of things people can make fun of me for. And you know what? People do. And I see people online who will maybe say some stuff about me, make some jokes or whatever. And I'm like, hey, that's fair. I do eat DoorDash, usually like twice a day. Okay. And you know what? You can tell. That's all right. And so it's like, but that's a way too, where like sometimes we don't notice something until it's pointed out. And so, as long as everybody involved's got the right heart about things, it's a win-win.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I would say the state of it is we see a lot that needs to be improved. We got to laugh. We got to have more fun. But we love it. And I mean, even circling back to my initial question, I think the problem with Christian content in the space is that either people that are telling jokes aren't really laughing. They're like hating on it, or the people that love it can't laugh about it. And I think that when I met Taylor, we met each other one night after a youth conference in Washington State. And
it's true.
And he started telling me about seed oils and
Did I?
And my fries.
Is that what I was talking about?
Oh yeah. And but what I realized, I'm like, oh, this dude loves God. This guy loves the church. He loves Jesus. And
yes.
I mean, I think we gotta have people that can call it higher, that love it. And I think right now the problem is the people that are trying to call it higher actually hate the church and hate what it is.
A lot of times,
And then the people that love it aren't always the best at being able to critique it and call it higher. Right. And I'm like, man, I want to merge these two things. I mean, do we want to end by talking about that DM you got from those people, or should we save that for another episode?
We could talk about that.
We're at about 20 minutes right now.
Oh, we're about 20 minutes. Okay. Well, I mean, one project that, is kind of making the rounds right now. You see a lot of people talking about it. Is the religion business. I saw the religion business. I heard about it when they reached out to me. They wanted me to host their red carpet. A publicist reached out, and I just was like, okay, I mean, I look at just about any.
Wait, that's what the reach out was for?
Yeah, they wanted me to host their red carpet.
They got Julie Royce instead.
And they got Julie.
I killed your punchline.
No, it's all good. They reached out, and I was like, well, let me look at it. Let me see what it is, because I look at every request, and then I just go through, and it's just video after video saying the same thing that I heard a 16-year-old heresy hunter on YouTube say 10 years ago. They're just pointing out like pastors that have money, basically. They're like, hey, look at this. Look at Copeland, guys. And I'm like, it's like, first of all, it's unoriginal and uncreative, because everybody already knows that Copeland has jets. Okay. That's not news to anybody. His supporters don't care. And people who don't support him already know and already don't support him. So like, what's the messaging? What is the point of this? And it wasn't entertaining at all. And I basically just ghosted it. And then I saw them like name dropping and going after some of my friends, people that I know. And I was like, what in the world is going on? But I think it's just indicative of just like, there's a whole category online of people that do nothing but just hate on the church. And I'm like, I'm not
hate on the church for making money while selling merch. Like this is the part that it's gotta make sense. And then it was like, oh, look, breaking.
Can I point something out too?
Yeah.
That stinking t-shirt that says BRB.
Yeah.
That Memes for Jesus did that first. Okay. I saw
Justice for Memes of Jesus.
They literally have had that. I think they've been selling, I think Memes for Jesus has been selling that shirt for like, man, I want to say like 3 to 5 years or something. Like I'm always seeing that on their thing. And then like, they're just out here selling BRB merch. I'm like, what are we even talking? And then look at their history. Look at the films those guys made before. I'm like, this doesn't represent Christian ethics.
I'll show that in a second. Yeah, here's Julie Roy's renowned Christian. What would she call herself? Gossip prophetess?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she would say she's working on behalf of accountability or something. Which show me a time in church history where God relegated accountability to bloggers. That's a new thing.
I think the interesting thing to me is like, for a movement of people that's trying to show the maybe the over luxuriousness or lavishness of Christianity, to sell merch and do a red carpet feels so weird to me. Like,
yeah,
like, it just,
this is the way to do it. It's like, what?
It just
That's
smacks.
how you're doing it?
It just smacks. Hey, on Amazon Prime, you guys, you can either watch the Religion Biz documentary or House of David. Choose wisely, okay? Choose wisely, all right? What were
people can figure that out.
What were you just saying about, the other movies that they've done and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, like their last film was, from what I gather on IMDb, it was about a couple guys who pretend to be gay so that they can be pervy with women.
Sick, dude.
That was literally the premise.
The purveyors of biblical justice.
I know, yeah. So
Thank you, God.
They've gone from making like C-list comedy flicks, which there's business in that. Okay, if you can make a comedy flick for $400K, you can sell it to Netflix for $2 million.
Oh, here it is, right here. Shout out Pastor Jeremy Austell too, over here in Tennessee.
I love Jeremy.
Disappointing, Julie. For someone who searches high and low for indiscretions of ministers and churches, did you forget to do your homework on these guys? This is a movie Apfel made, which is that guy, right? I think. I honestly don't know.
Apfel. I don't know either. It's one of
is
them.
He a believer? Are his motives pure? Are your motives pure?
Yeah, chicks dig gay. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at this. Thank God these guys are here to save the church. Yeah, I'm sure this is the accountability that God has in mind for his church. This is who he's picking. It's like, give me
I'm just like imagining like being in front of my kids and I'm just like, hey, girls, I'm saying, my son's 1, he doesn't really know English yet. Just girls. There's some bad guys in the church. It's been happening since the Old Testament. God normally has some really creative ways of working them out.
Right.
And I think he's got his biggest one yet. His spirit is called upon the producers of Chicks Dig Gay Guys. And God's gonna move.
Right.
I've seen some people do some screen. This is like also rated, whatever softcore corn is rated. This is rated. Like it has like nudity in it and stuff. Like
seriously.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw some screen. I went down a rabbit hole. Someone was really going in. Oh my gosh, dude. And you know what? Let's just pause and shout out the heroes, local church pastors like Pastor Jeremy Austell out in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And man, there's obviously plenty of bad actors in this space. We could fill up this entire episode talking about some of the moral failures that have been reported on just this summer. And part of why we're not is just because it's just is that going to change the game, for anyone, and I think,
and part of it is like, it's already covered. Everybody already knows about this
100%.
And I don't feel like God's called me anyway to be the guy that's going to go around and act like a big brother and beat up people when they, beat them up with short form video clips when they mess up. It's like, that's accountability. That's what we're working with. It's like, man.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean,
it's not for me.
Yeah, no. And we'll have people on the show that do that sort of thing. We'll have Ruslan on this show. Our show will be different than Ruslan, even someone like Bryce Crawford. I don't think, me and Taylor aren't necessarily planning on sharing the gospel at a Scientology church. Except now that I say it, it sounds pretty funny,
It's kind of based.
It kind of sounds kind of funny. But again, I think our tone is we want to be conversational, but not compromising.
Right.
I think that's the thing is I I think a lot of people, I think in our corner of the world, whenever you've heard a pastor say, well, this is more of a conversation topic, it's normally code for like heresy or like, we're actually never going to address this very clear biblical issue. But I think what we want to embrace is like, listen, man, like short of someone like doing stuff that's illegal, right? Or like truly harming to people, let's have them on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's hear what they have to say. Play devil's advocate. I mean, I'm sure there will be times, just like any clips on the internet, we'll be accused of being for this or against that. And I think we'll also withhold the rights to be very clear on who we are and what we believe, which if you follow either of us on Instagram, it's not that hard to figure out.
Right. Yeah. At least it shouldn't be.
So the state of Christian media, we haven't made God's Not Dead 5 yet. So W there.
That's what we need. More God's Not Dead movies. If we had more God's Not Dead movies,
I'll tell you what we need more of. I'll tell you right now.
What?
I will tell you what we need more of, dude. We need more of this man right here. Frank E. Peretti, dude. Frank,
no joke.
Freaking E. Peretti, dude. This Present Darkness, fire book.
We love Frank Peretti.
Now,
well, somebody bought his. So I've heard so many people different people tell me this. I haven't researched it, but like somebody bought the movie rights to all these books, and now they just won't make the movies and they won't release them to anybody else.
My favorite ones are this series right here. It's like Christian Indiana Jones, and it's a lot about the Nephilim. Dude, it's.
Careful saying the Nephilim. The Christian YouTubers are going to hear that, and they're going to be like, "What?
Let's go, bro."
Video part series.
We'll have but see, this is what's going to be fun about our show, guys. The crazy YouTubers that we're like, kind of like cringe at. We're going to have them on the show because it's going to be funny. It's just going to be. It's going to be funny, And so, I mean, our thing is this. We're going to try to bring some good news between Sundays. We're going to try to talk about the things that are happening in the world. And so we're optimistic about the church. We're optimistic about Christianity. We're also not stupid either. We're going to have a lot of fun. Any final words from the senior global pastor on the state of Christian media?
I'm just excited about it. This segment of our show talking about it, people might be like, it's kind of boring or something. I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have watched for 20 minutes as we explain that. But I mean, I think people get it. I think people are ready for what.
I think our editors will have done a good job too. They know.
Yeah, our editors will have done a great job.
They know what's up.
They know what's up. Well, it's too is like people should just watch. They'll follow along. They'll see the clips. They'll figure out what we're about here.
And we knew that this episode was going to be a little bit less of a talking point, more of a philosophy on how we're thinking about everything. Which I think we got in here. If anyone is like, these guys are haters or these guys are fake, well, watch this. Right, exactly. So if you made it to the end, put in the comments your favorite piece of Christian media. It can be from back then, can be from now, can be ancient. I heard that there's a Thomas Aquinas book of jokes out there.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. But, if there's anything like that, put it in the comments.
I want that.
You guys are real ones. Do us a favor, like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channels that you see this on. We're going to be posting this everywhere. Thanks for being a part of Between Sundays, and we can't wait to laugh with you. We'll see y'all.